Hey guys, this is Mara the Reading Hedgehog with my July book haul. I hauled 59 books this month, and 3 of them were only given to me. The rest of them I actually bought. So this is probably going to be in 2 videos. So first, I'm going to show you the books that I received for review, and the new releases I bought, and then I will then show you just books I bought, both used and new. There were a lot of sales going on in my favorite bookstores, so yeah, I just bought a lot of books this month. It was a bad month. The next month will be worse, and the month after that will be even worse, and then hopefully it'll taper off towards November and December. But yes, let's get into this thing. So the first book I received for review is Forget Me Not by Sean Martin. This is the second book in the Shadowflesh series, I think. I was supposed to receive this several months ago, and it didn't come in until about early July, maybe late June. I think it was early July. And I haven't read it yet, but I'm hoping to read it in August, and I will review it, and really looking forward to it. Except that I am reading this series at work because I haven't read the first one, and that bothers me. But I'll get over it. The second book I have is Concrete Fever by Nathaniel Cresson. This was sent to me by the publisher for review. What is the publishing company called? It's a small publishing company. Second Skin Books. I'm actually reading this for work, and I will be reading this in August, so looking forward to that. I don't really know what it's about, other than it's YA, and I'm the person at the bookstore I work at, that reviews all the YA. So, I'm going to read it. Next, I was sent Juliet's Nurse by Lois Levine, and this is an advanced reader's copy sent to me by the publisher for review. I actually don't think this is young adult, but I love Shakespeare, and this is the story of Romeo and Juliet told from Juliet's nurse's point of view. So I got tapped on the shoulder to read it at work, and looking forward to that. Another August read. So the next ones I'll show you are new releases of July, and there's quite a few of them. 2 of them actually haven't come in yet, and I don't think I'll actually probably end up getting them in until August, so they'll be a part of August's haul. So the first one is Reckoning by Carrie Wilkinson. This came out July 1st. It is sci-fi, maybe slightly dystopian fantasy, I think, sort of. I don't know. I just bought it because at the time I read the synopsis, it did sound really interesting, and it still sounds interesting, and it's got a really cool cover, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a trilogy, so I bought it, and looking forward to reading it. Next one I have is The Actual and Truthful Adventures of Becky Thatcher by Jessica Lawson. This also came out July 1st, and this is not part of a series, I don't think. It looks like the author actually wrote retellings of the adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, which is kind of what this is, except it's told from Becky Thatcher's point of view, and kind of Tom Sawyer and Becky kind of switch roles, I guess you could say, in this, so that should be really interesting and exciting. Thought it sounded fun. Next I have William Shakespeare's The Jedi Doth Return by Ian Dozier. This is the 3rd book in the William Shakespeare Star Wars trilogy, also came out July 1st. I haven't read any of these, but I have all 3 of them now because I plan on watching the Star Wars movies and reading them as I go along, just because that's fun. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I do have fond childhood memories of them like everyone, and I do love Shakespeare, and from what little I have seen of these, just flipping through them, it looks like Ian Dozier did a massively awesome job, so I'm looking forward to reading this soon. Probably not August, though. Next I have The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This came out July 8th, and this is the first book in the Remnant Chronicles, a new fantasy series that could be good or could be bad, I don't know. Judging by the title and just kind of the premise, which sounds a little romancy, it's probably going to be a bit like Defy, but oddly enough I did enjoy Defy, even though it really wasn't that great of a book, but we'll see about this one. I've been hearing good things about it. Next I have Midnight Thief by Livia Blackburn. This is a July 8th release, and this is the first book in the Midnight Thief trilogy, I think. And this is one of my most anticipated releases of July. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I read the prequel novella to this series called Poison Dance that Livia Blackburn sent me, and I loved it, and I cannot wait to read more about this world. but this involves assassins and thieves, and it just sounds really, really good. And it's a middle grade fantasy, so it should be good. It shouldn't be annoying. Hopefully. Not. Next I have A Grim Warning by Chris Colfer. This is the third book in the Land of Stories series. This also came out July 8th. And this is another series that I have not read, but I have the first two, and I figured why not buy the third one, because I have the other two, and it looks really fun and cute, and kind of like the Sisters Grimm series by Michael Buckley, and like maybe Storybound by Marissa Burt and all those, and I love those books, so looking forward to delving into this series. Now, next, I can't talk. Next, I have The Slaves of Socorro by John Flanagan, the fourth book in the Brother Man Chronicles. This came out July 15th in the US. And yes, fourth book in the Brother Man Chronicles. Really, really looking forward to reading this one. I love John Flanagan's books, even though he carried on the Rager's Apprentice series way too long, and the later ones aren't as good as the first four, but I still do really enjoy them, and I do love the Brother Man Chronicles. And it sounds like there's going to be some familiar Ranger characters in this one, so I'm looking forward to seeing which ones he brings in and how they play a role and stuff like that. That should be a lot of fun. Okay, next I have Elusive by Emily Lloyd Jones, another July 15th release. I don't know if this is going to be part of a trilogy. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. As far as I know, it isn't, but if you know differently, please let me know, because I like to know before I start a book whether or not it's going to be a series. So this is I do know a little bit more about this one. So like there's this virus that affected a bunch of people, and so they had to get a vaccine, and like the people who got the vaccine, a lot of them developed superpowers, but a lot of them turned criminal, because the government made it to where either you had to swear allegiance to them or you'd be exterminated. And so a bunch of people became criminal, and this follows a thief, who is able to change her appearance, and like a bunch of different criminals with other powers get together and do something. But it sounded kind of interesting. I'm not a superhero fan, but I do like this recurring theme in young adult novels, where you take the superhero idea, but people who get superhero powers actually end up being villains. Because let's face it, if people got superpowers, that's what would happen. They would turn into villains. So looking forward to reading this. I don't expect it to be as good as Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, but I'm still looking forward to it. Next I have Marina by Carlos Roy Zafon, and I'm sure I butchered his name. That's just me. This came out, I think this might be a July 15 or July 26 release. I can't remember exactly, because I didn't label it. This just got released in the US. It's just been recently translated, and it sounds like it's a time travel gothic horror story, and I love time travel and I love gothic horror stories, so it looks really good, and it's pretty, and it sounded interesting, and I can't wait to read it. Finally, I have The Fire Wish by Amber Liu. This came out same time as Marina, so either July 15th or 16th, not sure. This is the first book in the Genie Wars series, I think it is. I believe it's middle grade. But what I know of it, this genie who's a girl, and this other girl, this genie ends up swapping roles with this princess who's going to go marry this really jerky guy in Baghdad, and so they somehow when the girl finds the genie bottle and rubs it, they somehow end up switching places. And that just sounded really cool. And it's also, I don't really know of any stories where the genies are girls, so it should be kind of interesting to read that. So yeah, just looking forward to reading this one. It sounds really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and show some of the other books I bought, and hope my video does not cut out in between. So I bought all of these at work as well, but they're not new releases for July, so I just kind of bought them because I could. So I have the second and third book in the Girl on Fire and Thorns series, so book 2, The Crown of Embers, and book 3, The Bitter Kingdom, both by Ray Carson. I have the Girl of Fire and Thorns, and I've read it this month, and I loved it, so I decided I needed to buy the next two so I can continue with my theme a finishing out series this month, both buying and reading them, so I'm really looking forward to finishing this series. It's been really good so far. And then I have The Mystery at Lilac Inn by Carolyn Keene. This is book 4 in the Nancy Drew series, and I'm just collecting these because this was my childhood favorite series when I was a kid. It got me into mysteries, and I just need to do this for my childhood self and just complete buying the series because I need to. My child side insists. Next I have The Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, the third book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I do not have the other two, but this was sitting at work and I was bored and I had time. I was like, you know what, I'm buying some books today, I might as well add this one to the list. So I did, and I don't know if I am excited about starting this trilogy. I've heard so many mixed things about it. A lot of my friends said that I'll hate it. So, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Ugh. Next, I have the first two in the very last book in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, so City of Bones, City of Ashes, and book number 6, City of Heavenly Fire. I have not peeked at City of Heavenly Fire, so I have not spoiled myself, though I kind of have a general idea of some of the things that happen. I have read City of Bones. I did like it, surprisingly. I'm going to start City of Ashes next month, August, and looking forward to that. And yeah, I just bought the 6th book because, again, it was slow at work. I was buying books that day anyway, and it was there, so I decided, why not? Even though I shouldn't have. But I did. These next books I actually bought at Costco because I was at Costco and I had time to kill, and I had money to spend, so I bought The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This is a nice kind of soft covered imitation leather copy. It was really cheap and I do like how these look, so I bought it because I'm still working on collecting classics. I also bought 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. It sounded really interesting and I do like reading nonfiction, surprisingly, even though I haven't read that much. Lately, I did when I was a kid. But this sounded interesting, so I decided to get it. Next, I bought The Giver by Lois Lowry, the first book in the Giver Quartet, I think it's called. I have read this before. I'm rereading it because the movie's coming out and I need a refresher before I go see the movie so I can review the movie and let you guys know, what I thought in comparison to the book. And then I bought The Queen of Tearling by Erica Johansson. This is the first book in a new adult fantasy series, and I actually had the ARC for this, but again, I was at Costco and I saw this, and it was discounted, and it's really pretty, and this book has a ribbon bookmark. Let's see if I can pull it out, and see right there, it's actually got a ribbon bookmark, and it's so hard to find books nowadays that are that classy. So I went against my better judgment and I bought it, and now I'm really not sure how I feel about doing that because I have read nothing but negative reviews for this book, so I'm a little worried. But it's pretty, it'll look nice on my shelves. Finally, I bought the first 4 books in the Dinotopia paperback series. So we have Wind Chaser by Scott Cianson, River Quest by John Vornholt, Hatchling by Midori Snyder, and Lost City by Scott Cianson. This was my ultimate favorite series as a kid. I loved these books. I love the original Dinotopia books. I love this paperback series. I loved the 2 books that Alan Dean Foster wrote, and I have to buy this series for my kid self. I mean, I do not like paperbacks. I hate buying them. I hate reading them. But I can't find these in hardcover, so I just have to buy them, and I've been finding them for like $1 each through our sources at the bookstore. So I've been collecting them, and I got these for this month, and brings back so many memories. So many memories. I remember so much about these books. Oh, I loved them. And I still love them. They're fun. I know that's nerdy of me. It probably dates how old I am. So those are the new books I bought this month, and just kind of the ones I bought at work. And on my second video, I will show all the used books I bought at Powell's City of Books in half price books. And so I will see you very, very soon with the second half. Bye.